आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
From the Republic Media Network headquarters, it's time for Arnab Goswami on The Debate. Arnab Goswami on The Debate.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and time now for the nation's sharpest opinion. The biggest news story of the week, and probably one of the biggest news events of 2025, will happen this week, when, day after tomorrow, as per latest updates, that is on Wednesday, the Axiom Mission 4, AX4, will fly and take off from NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida to the International Space Station, the ISS. And the reason this is so significant and so important for every single Indian, all of us, a moment we should all be very proud of, a moment we should all watch, and a moment we should all remember, is because after 41 years, an Indian will be flying to space. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the hashtag is fitting, hashtag Shubhanshu Shukla, because the name of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will be on the lips of every single Indian as he flies out to the International Space Station. He will be the first Indian since Rakesh Sharma in 1984 to go to space, marking India's return to human space flight after 41 years. And this is no small event, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a footnote in the history of space travel. When the world's most populous nation sends only its second citizen to space, ladies and gentlemen, it is very, very significant, because this is one huge step towards India sending manned missions to space. Yes, Axiom 4 and the takeoff for the International Space Station of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is a vital precursor to Gaganyaan, which is going to be India's entry into human space flight. That is the next on the radar. And Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will carry out many experiments, learn a lot, and he's going to be a part of the Gaganyaan, ladies and gentlemen, space flight, which means this is one big step towards major quick steps which will happen in the future for Indians traveling to space. In our space journey, this is huge. It also shows India's growing role, and in the future, even bigger role in commercial and international space missions. And we will then be a very key operator in low Earth orbit activities. This makes us a major space power. This will boost India's ambitions, and it will build confidence in our country's ability to not only execute complex human spaceflight operations, but it will also set the pace for what we hope will be a crewed lunar mission that India will carry out by 2040, which means this is 2025. And imagine where we will be 15 years from now. And ladies and gentlemen, in our lifetimes, therefore, we will see Indian manned missions to the moon. What a huge step. How much we can achieve when we come together as one. So Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla has the blessings of the entire country. And we are all praying for his success and for safe landings for Shubhanshu Shukla. This is going to be, without doubt, therefore, bigger than anything that happens this week. This is the biggest news event of the week, and we're all watching. We're all watching very keenly.
From the back seat of a bicycle to reaching the frontier of unlocking human spaceflight. Just like ISRO, India has come a long way in its destiny to reach the stars in all avenues. We all remember that iconic moment that Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma captured for 75 crore Indians in 1984.
स्क्वाड्रन लीडर राकेश शर्मा, सारे राष्ट्र का ध्यान आपके तरफ है और हम सब आपको बधाई देते हैं। यह एक ऐतिहासिक कदम है। मेरी आशा है कि इससे हमारा देश अंतरिक्ष के प्रति जागरूक होगा और साथ ही हमारे युवकों को साहसिक कार्य करने की प्रेरणा मिलेगी।
41 years later, Tiranga will once again fly into low Earth orbit, this time proudly pinned on the heart of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla.
The first Indian astronaut, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, traveled to space in 1984. I was born in 1985. Consequently, I grew up reading about him in textbooks and listening to his stories from space. I was deeply, deeply impressed by him.
Group Captain Shukla is one of India's 4 designated astronauts for its very ambitious human space flight program, Gaganyaan. He is said to be part of the Axiom 4 mission, a NASA-ISRO collaboration mission that will make him the first Indian to arrive on the International Space Station.
This will be very, very clear pulling inside, but outside will be difficult. Now,
Shubhanshu Shukla will be part of a crew of 4. However, he is not just any other astronaut. Group Captain Shukla will fly the Falcon 9 as the pilot for the mission. The AX-4's Falcon 9 rocket is set to launch from the NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Florida. The Falcon 9 has had over 400 successful launches with a success rate of 97%, putting it at the forefront of human spaceflight innovation. On board the ISS, Shubhanshu Shukla will stay for over 14 days and conduct 7 experiments designed by Indian scientists in microgravity. Shubhanshu Shukla's mission will also give India some critical information for our very own Gaganyaan mission.
140 करोड़ एस्पिरेशंस को स्पेस में ले जाने वाली 4 शक्तियां हैं। 40 वर्ष के बाद कोई भारतीय अंतरिक्ष में जाने वाला है, लेकिन इस बार टाइम भी हमारा है, काउंटडाउन भी हमारा है और रॉकेट भी हमारा है।
India is making tremendous progress on the indigenous Gaganyaan program, with ISRO perfecting each aspect of the development stage. In December last year, India demonstrated to the world its space docking capability, becoming one of the 4 nations in the world to achieve this marvel. Now in 2025, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla is set to take off with the dreams and best wishes of 1.4 billion Indians.
You are becoming a true inspiration for the next generation. The entire school, I believe, is looking up to you. The entire generation is looking up to you. And बस यार, finish off things, come back fast, and waiting for you. मिलना है, बहुत time हो गया now. It's going to be a year since you're there, and just come back, and then we'll have a lot of stories to share.
The countdown has begun, and it's time for India's second ever astronaut to finally lift off.
My first guest this evening is Suchi Mishra, very proud sister of Shubhanshu Shukla. Suchi, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Just got the news that it's delayed by a day,
Yes, actually,
because
I
of
was
weather
busy just
conditions.
Sorry.
Apparently, because of weather conditions, we got an update from ISRO that it's been delayed by a day.
Yes, of course. Recently, only just now, a few minutes back only, I got this information because of weather conditions. It has been postponed for one more day.
So what is this? What is the run-up to liftoff and docking like for the family?
Superbly excited. Of course, if we could of course join him, and we could also reach to the space along with him. But of course, we are highly excited and highly proud for him.
And tell me how you've been talking to him, the family's been talking to him, what is he saying? Because we are not in touch with him, we cannot connect with him now, he's in quarantine. And so tell me how this build-up has gone for him. Tell us everything, what's gone on last few months. We are all so excited, we also want to know everything about Shubhanshu. So share some stories with us.
What story? Actually, he is like that person, being this person only all the time. He always keep everything very calm and composed. That everything is under control, everything, nothing is out of the world. And whatever is happening, I'm learning. It's a process, I'm learning, and new things is like whatever that comes to his way, he starts learning that. And he always portray that, yes, I will do it. So for us is also like we are also having that confidence that whatever he is learning through this whole process, it is a long 9-month process roughly. So all the hardship and is about to pay off. And he's highly excited and happy. Today only we had word with him, and he's highly excited and happy about that. The day has arrived now, and he's going to implement this mission now.
What did he say?
He was happy. He was happy that I was waiting for this day for a long period of time, and now the day has arrived. But just now I have got that information. I'm sure all of you must have got that information that it has been postponed for one more day.
So what's the preparation like? I mean, he's in quarantine. Do you get into a completely closed physical environment? What's the mental training you go through? Anything you can share with us?
Mental training, they are already mentally strong, of course, because he has gone through that rigorous NDA training, first of all, post-12th. And after that, he has been in Air Force for a long period of time. Then he was the test pilot. So this is not something he's doing for the first time. That mental training he's doing from the age of 16, actually. So he's just brushing up those skills, what he has developed already, that I can say only. And of course, he is brilliant and he knows how to manage the things around. And he will surely manage that as well. So whatever training is going on, he is grasping as much as possible. And he is just going to make us proud. All of it, all of the Indians, not only me as sister, but all of us are just, he's going to make us proud of us.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We first saw Shubhanshu when he was selected among 4 Indian Air Force test pilots for the Gaganyaan mission. Right. When did you first get to know about that? Because we first saw him and there were 4 of them who were standing as astronaut designates. Very proud moment. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was there. Did you know of that in advance? Or did you know and not share? Or did the family also get to know when he was standing on the stage with the Prime Minister?
No, we got to know, but we got to know on a very short notice only. He was selected, but on a very short notice as such, because this is how he is. He never shares that the process and the challenges of the process, actually. He's always been like this. And he always shared the good news, like a product of that process, or maybe that whatever he is doing in his life. So he always try to hide his challenges or struggles in the life, but he definitely shares that achievements of his life with the happiness. So that's what he did. He was just gone through all the selection process, I'm sure, which must be very hard and difficult for everyone whomsoever has participated in that. He gone through that. And once he has got selected over there, then only he informed us कि हम पापा मम्मा मेरा हो गया है. So this is something very thrilling for all of us. And still, whenever we saw that clip, whenever we watched that clip along with the family member, we always get the goosebumps that he is one of that 4 members, those who have been selected for us.
That's so wonderful. And the historical significance of this. We are now going to become the 4th nation after Gaganyaan, after US, Russia, China, to launch humans into space. What a big thing, Suchi.
Definitely. It's a huge achievement for our country as well, because we have reached to this scale now. And then competing with that huge countries in that manner. itself is a huge achievement for us as well. And I'm hoping that because of Shubhanshu, as he has reached to another mile, I'm sure because of him, lot many other Shubhanshu Shukla are going to grow up and make us proud in future as well.
Yeah. If you talk to him again, tell us how proud we are of him, all of us.
Definitely. All the blessings and well wishes are reaching to him through us and through the digital platform as well. And I'm sure that he's not getting chance and opportunity to read all those informations and messages because he's highly busy and occupied.
Yeah.
But blessings are something which will reach to him, of course.
Of course it will. Thank you. Thank you, Suchi. This has been wonderful to talk to you. We'll remain in touch. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Same here. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Wow. I remember I was in school, color TVs had just come. And that is when we saw Rakesh Sharma go into space. But, I welcome my panel today, Dr. Surendra Pal. Good evening, sir. Former director of ISRO, sir. Thank you, sir. He's responsible for development of telecom systems for Indian satellites, including Aryabhatta, INSAT, GSAT, Chandrayaan. These are all gems of our country. Dr. S. Venkateshwar Sharma, former director of ISRO. Sir, proud to have you also, sir. Such great and distinguished scientists. We have distinguished scientist at ISRO and former associate director of SDSC and SHAR projects from Hyderabad, Dr. Seshagiri Rao Velankini. Thank you very much, sir. Dr. B.R. Guru Prasad, former senior ISRO scientist, director of the Jawaharlal Nehru Planetarium, live from Bengaluru. And we also know, always we know, Nambi Narayanji is former director of the cryogenics division of ISRO. Nambi, sir, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm pulling along, sir. I'm so happy to see you. Happy to see all of you. And very excited about what is going to happen this week. Very excited, like a child. The same excitement like when I saw Rakesh Sharma. I saw that on TV as a schoolboy telling Indira Gandhi, Sare Jahan se acha. We were so hooked, so excited. So I would start with Dr. Surendra Pal, sir, if I can start with you. Can you explain to everyone watching tonight, Dr. Pal, the significance of this flight ahead of Gaganyaan, the significance of Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla being part of the Axiom mission force?
See, the significance, there are two aspects of this. One is technological. So there will be a person who, in first person, who will be looking into other things and his experiences and his what all he has learned will be useful for Gaganyaan. Okay. And he's one of the astronauts, and most probably he'll also be flying. Second thing which I feel most important is that it's encouraging and it's kindling the minds of the youngsters. Today I was there with some school children, and they were all excited. They all want to go to space. So that's the biggest impact of this one it will have it. So I feel that it's a multi-level, both technologically. It increases the our prestige of the country. It also gives us self-pride, and it encourages our youngsters, school children, if they are excited to come join an ISRO and they want to be astronauts, what more achievement we will have it. Thank you.
Sir, I want to go across to Dr. S. Venkateshwar Sharma, please. Dr. Sharma, what is the significance of this flight, Axiom 4 flight that Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will take in the context of Gaganyaan? Was it necessary to go through this experience? Does it add to Gaganyaan? If so, sir, how?
Of course, yes. This is the most crucial time and the crucial period where we are standing at the doorstep of launching the Gaganyaan with our own astronauts. This is a time when we have to do some learning. There are 4 learnings which are important, which are going to be done in this mission. One is that taking an astronaut to the space, which we have not done, now we are doing it. And our own astronaut who has been selected for Gaganyaan is going. That experience is extremely important, number 1. Number 2, once the astronaut reaches there, how he is going to live there and how he is going to take care of himself in terms of mental, physical, psychological requirements and experiments related to them are being done by our astronaut. That's also extremely important. For example, the mass loss in the body, and how do we control the mass loss by supplementing various food or nutrients, etc. That study he's going to make, that is going to really give us very important information. One. Second thing is also that effect of radiation on various germination of the plants and making of some of these salads, etc. And how do we do that? And how is it going to sustain in space is the second experiment what is going to be planned. So such experiments are planned. Those experiments are extremely important to sustain. Then comes how do we live longer there in terms of an astronaut going to stay there for longer based on the experience already had with Sunita Williams. If astronaut has to stay there for longer time, and what type of effect it is going to happen, and what type of experiment has to be done. The learning that has to happen is going to happen in this. There's also another important experiment that is going to be there. After that, the safely the astronaut has to come back, and then the further experiments have to happen. So this is a time when Gaganyaan is planned, when we have to have all these experiences with us, and we have to have the learning. And ISRO in particular, this country in large, doesn't do anything just like that. This is the time where, if you had seen last 4 to 5 years, there were docking experiments. There were several other space experiments related to Gaganyaan. There had been declaration about the Bharat space station, where there is going to be docking, and most importantly, the astronaut selected from ISRO, Shubhanshu, is going to be the pilot and also going to do the experiment for docking, which is extremely important, keeping in mind the BSS. Therefore, the learning what is going to happen, the 4 or 5 aspects which I listed, are going to be really important, and they are going to give us enormous amount of inputs for the immediate Gaganyaan, which is going scheduled during 2025 and 2026, and the BSS, which is scheduled for 2035 and 2040, Arnab.
No, thank you so much for that. Now, Nambi Narayan sir, we have very stiff targets ahead of us. I mean, it sounds very exciting to say that we plan to have our own Antariksh station by 2035. We plan to have a manned mission to the moon by 2040. We plan to send up Gaganyaan in the next few years. Nambi Narayan sir, these huge targets, like our own orbital space station, are we working parallel on all of these, and have we built enough redundancies? I mean, is it really possible? Simply put, can we achieve all this in 15 years, sir? Can we do all of this above in 15 years, 10 to 15 years?
Of course, yes. I have no doubt about it in my mind. For example, if you take even today's venture, is actually a parallel activity. The parallel activity means that what we would do when we are going to be ready in 2027. For example, when we were talking about Rakesh Sharma's launch, we were about 41 years back. At that time, we just had SLV-3 alone was launched. We didn't have any other rocket. 79, we launched this SLV-3, and that is only a 40-kilogram Apple payload. Yeah. But whereas today we are talking about a system which we are going to be Gaganyaan, which will be ready from now onwards, 2 years from now, 2.5 years from, maximum 3 years from now. But the other milestones, 2040, 2035 and all, I'm not very much worried, because most important thing is the next step is the Gaganyaan. Once we achieve that goal, then the remaining things will automatically follow. Actually, you must understand that we have one of the biggest boosters, and we also have the liquid rockets which are coming on the way. So I have a feeling why it cannot happen. Only thing is we have to work together like what we used to work in ISRO. If this continues, yes, we will achieve this in 2027 without any doubt. If not 27, 28, we will achieve this. I'm sure about it.
27, 28 is the timeline you're saying for Gaganyaan, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And Dr. Seshagiri Rao Velanki ji, sir, do you need a lot of experience in actual space missions to be part of a Gaganyaan-like project? I mean, now we will have that experience here with Shubhanshu Shukla. Is similar experience required for all those who will be part of a manned space mission? Will a lot of other Indians also have to go through similar experience in the coming years before Gaganyaan or in the run-up to Antariksh? How will it work, sir? How have other countries been through this process?
Yeah, good evening to all of you. It is a wonderful mission which kindles the entire youth of India and the citizens of India watching with enthusiasm. And if you look at Shubhanshu Shukla, he has been designated as a pilot of this mission. There are 2 mission experts and 1 commander, and Shubhanshu Shukla is the pilot. If you look at how the ISRO is progressing towards taking human to space, is actually parallel activity. We have in fact had a satellite recovery experiment where we have orbited a satellite for a week and then we have recovered it in Bay of Bengal in safe condition, and we know let us say in the Earth atmosphere how it enters and how it can be recovered when it lands in space. That was the first thing done.
Open calls.
And later on the human rating of the GS will be Mark III took place. Let it be solid motor, let it be liquid motors, and followed by the abort tests in case, let us say, the humans are supposed to fly on Mark III. In case the mid-abort takes place, how to jettison them and recover it. Those experiments were completed. All these things are parallel activities. In addition to that, the capsule recovery through parachutes have also been done through aircraft. And all the 4 astronauts which were selected for this Gaganyaan missions, you all know that all 4 of them, they are the Group Captain Prashant Nair and Ajit Krishnan,
yes,
and Mr. Pratap and Shubhanshu Shukla. All 4 of them got trained equally in all aspects of flying to space. And the moment, let us say, the Shubhanshu Shukla has been selected to fly in Axiom 4, we will get a rich experience how to pilot the ISS when you are there, and how to conduct experiments, and what are the experiences you gain through that is a huge benefit, so that you can share with other astronauts and as well as the remaining people. And he will also achieve mechanical and technical mastery and advanced medical training and habitat training, how to live there, and also the cultural and language when he is working with, let us say, the other astronauts of Poland, Hungary and United States. And many other experiments have been listed that have to be conducted in those 2 weeks' time. So it is a huge benefit to the entire space activities of the government of India and ISRO, in particular the entire youth of the nation. It's a fantastic one.
So, Dr. Guru Prasad, there are 4 Indian Air Force test pilots, Group Captains Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, Group Captain Ajit Krishnan, Group Captain Angad Pratap, and Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, who were selected for Gaganyaan, which is India's first human flight space program. Dr. Guru Prasad, what about the other 3 who have been selected? What kind of training are they going through? And how will they benefit from this experience that Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will bring back with him at the end of this mission?
Yeah. Good evening to you. Namaskar, Arnab.
Namaskar.
Yes, all the 4 astronauts who are career Air Force pilots and who are test pilots, they were selected in during 2019-20 period, and all of them have undergone training equally well. Okay, then when Shubhanshu Shukla, who is the youngest of all, I understand, in fact, he is 39-year-old, and he was selected, and his backup is Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, who is also in the US with him. Okay, so all these 4 were trained very well, both to tolerate both physiological and psychological stresses that were associated with space flight. You know, the thing is the way in which they were trained. Some of the things which are very curious for a layman is pertaining to space flight is when a rocket is ascending towards space, the astronauts or cosmonauts, in general, let us say space travelers, they feel, depending on the path taken by the rocket and its acceleration and such things, they feel that their weight is increased by 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, something like that. Okay? So these things have to be tolerated. Fortunately, test pilots, they are very well aware of these aspects, and they know how to tolerate these things. But anyway, they will be specifically trained for space flight in this regard. Similarly, once they go to space, the opposite happens.
On the right.
So for a common man, again, I would say, since the spacecraft in which they will be orbiting the Earth, it will be continuously falling towards the Earth, but it will never reach the surface of the Earth. That is the reason why they experience weightlessness. So, as to how to tolerate weightlessness, so in this aspect also, by taking them in a particular space, in an aircraft, and making it to fly in a particular path, trajectory, as engineers say, so they will train them. You might have seen some visuals you yourself showed. So these are the things, and they will be, actually any astronaut trainee will be tested for isolation and such things. So these are some of the important things in which all were trained, and they were trained at Yuri Gagarin Cosmonaut Training Center outside Moscow in Star City. All of them were trained. Now, after they came back, and when this Axiom mission came up, Axiom 4, so at that time, I understand that Shubhanshu Shukla and Prashant Balkrishnan Nair were selected.
If there are calls, let me know.
Shubhanshu Shukla was ultimately selected. So all of them have undergone training equally well, and they will be continuing. The other 3 will be continuing with their Gaganyaan training, and once Shubhanshu Shukla comes back, he will also join them, and together all of them, all the 4 of them will endeavor to fructify Gaganyaan, I would say, as during 26, 27, as Shri Nambinarayanan was telling. Arnab, only one thing I would like to tell you on an optimistic note.
Yeah.
When Rakesh Sharma, I still vividly remember the day when he was launched on April 3rd, 1984 in Soyuz T-11 spacecraft. And I watched that launch with a lot of enthusiasm. I was a fresher at ISRO at that time, and I watched it on a black and white TV. As Shri Nambinarayanan said, the thing is, at that time we had only one launch vehicle at that time, SLV-3, of which Kalam led the team. But today we have built 6 generations of launch vehicles. So 2 of them have launched, PSLV has launched more than 400 foreign satellites, and LVM-3 or Mark 3, it has launched 72 foreign satellites.
Yeah.
And we have at least around 50 satellites working for the country. So we have come a long way.
We are taking hot calls.
Rakesh Sharma was launched, and that was when he was launched and he came back, he established a legacy which is being continued by Shubhanshu Shukla. And I'm sure that, as his sister said, many more Shubhanshu Shuklas will be coming into the fore, and through the inspiration provided by Shubhanshu Shukla's flight. As Indians, all of us have to wish well and good luck for Shubhanshu Shukla. Thank you.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now, with your permission, I will open up to calls, because there is tremendous interest, Dr. Surendrapal, from people across India to get a perspective. They have so many questions. They are saying, why is only Arnab asking the questions? So I will open up to callers from all over India, and they'll take a few calls, and you can add your expert opinion to what they are saying. But before I do that, I want to play that clip, because most of the people in India today have been born after Rakesh Sharma went to space, after 1984. So majority of Indians may not have watched this event live. Many may have watched this video, but we must relive the moment and then open up to calls. So if I have that clip, please, and if it can be played, that clip, let's play it up.
स्क्वाड्रन लीडर राकेश शर्मा, सारे राष्ट्र का ध्यान आपके तरफ है और हम सब आपको बधाई देते हैं। यह एक ऐतिहासिक कदम है। मेरी आशा है कि इससे हमारा देश अंतरिक्ष के प्रति जागरूक होगा और साथ ही हमारे युवकों को साहसिक कार्य करने की प्रेरणा मिलेगी। प्रश्न तो आपसे बहुत से पूछने हैं, लेकिन थोड़े से पूछती हूँ। ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
जी, मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ कि सारे जहां से अच्छा दिखता है।
And that's that famous clip. Brings a smiles to everyone's face right now. Dr. Surendra Pal, what do you think the mood at ISRO will be? What would the scientific community at ISRO be looking for?
The mood is very elated, and I must also say that I also watched when Mrs. Gandhi was talking to, at that time, the Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma. We also interacted with the Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma when he came. But the experience which Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla will have it will be much better and much elaborate than what he had it. Okay, so that was almost taking a big event. But the training which he underwent, I have seen that Yuri Gagarin Space Training Center, outside the Star City, outside Moscow Star City. When we went for one of the satellite launch, then we also saw the launching in the place where things were being launched. Okay, now there we saw when Yuri Gagarin was launched, they were kept as it is Yuri Gagarin and Marcel Tito's that two beds also. So if you see all those facilities, the training is very rigorous, and they've also gone through the training. What I saw maybe decades back, now the improvements are much more than, and they have undergone the training not only in Russia but also in France and of course in USA. And in my opinion, whether it's a Group Captain Shukla or the other three, what we call it, Vyom Yatri or astronauts, they are equally trained for all the things. Only thing is that he gets a chance to go for it. Somebody has to go, and his experience will definitely be sharing. Not only we have got the communication links, so everything will be known to us, okay, even to the mission person. One question you asked, how ISRO is prepared for such things, even for normal things, you have got a redundancy for everywhere.
Yeah.
Here we have got triple redundancies, and the ISRO is launching 2 satellites also to monitor the Gaganyaan throughout it. So the preparations which ISRO is doing is not at one level. We are doing almost 3 levels. The same things are being done. So for Gaganyaan, and when it goes, you will find that even those facilities after the Gaganyaan is over will be utilized by others. So it's a great thing which ISRO is doing, and I think my grandson is getting excited when I told him that somebody will be going for it. See, he's only 13 years. He says when he can go. So you can see that how much encouragement it's going to give.
Can you imagine all the things that will happen before your grandson turns 30? Can you imagine the number of things that will happen before he turns 30 is incredible. We have callers. Our first caller who wants to speak to the scientists is Ganesh from Mumbai. Ganesh, just brief, if you can be brief with your specific question.
Hello, Mr. Arnab.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, sir. Thank you very much to you, because it takes around about hardly 8 years to talk to you, sir.
I'm sorry about that.
8 years to talk to you, because every time when you open the lens, I am the one to call you first. But unfortunately, today, by God's grace, I am possible to I have a chance to talk to you.
My
Thanks
apologies
to God,
for that, sir. Thank you very much. We will take more live callers on air. Please, sir. Please go ahead with your question.
What is the best advice to I request all of the directors, former scientists, everybody. I request all of the people, what is your best advice to Shubhanshu Shukla, sir?
Okay, I'll take that to Dr. Venkateshwar Sharma. What would be the best advice to Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla, you think, sir?
The best advice is that we are at the stage where we need a lot of information in terms of the travel. First of all, the travel and the docking. Okay. The first thing is that he necessarily need to learn to the maximum extent how a travel has to happen and how a docking has to happen. And then once the docking happens, once he enters into the ISS, the experiments what are planned are also extremely, extremely important. For example, analyzing human interaction with electronic displays and in the microgravity is something which is important for us in the immediate mission of Gaganyaan, where interaction between the humans and the various electronic displays and display systems are going to be there, and also the radiation effects on the edible items and how those things are going to be there, and that is also important because that is immediately required for Gaganyaan experiment. And going ahead, further, when he stays there, the experiment related to the diabetes and the insulin-dependent diabetes, if ever they have to be in space, and what type of effect they are going to have, and what precautions have to be taken, is important for us from the point of view that any astronaut in space, maybe in Gaganyaan or whatever it is, gets into some medical issue, how those medical issues can be addressed in terms of emergencies. Of course, there are medical kits, etc., but these experiments are going to be extremely important. So once he is staying there, it's all the things which, once he comes back, once he starts back also, there are lots of learning which are to be there, because we are also going to splash down onto the sea, and the impact of the sea and the physical, mental, psychological condition of the astronaut, which are going to be extremely important even for the other three astronauts. The actual, of course, there are simulations, there are trainings, etc., but actual mission is important, and those all the 3 or 4 phases of his journey in his stay are going to be.
Sir.
Really
I'll take some more callers. Thank you for that, sir. Hasini is calling from Bengaluru. Hasini, are you there?
Hello.
Yes, Hasini. Hi.
So first of all, thank you so much, sir, for the opportunity. To ask questions. I'm actually a school student, and I aspire to be a space scientist or do something with space in the future. So this is a huge moment for me. So the question that I want to ask your scientist panel here is regarding the preparation that Sir Shubhanshu.
Quiet, please. Let me listen.
So apart from the physical training, there's also a lot of mental training that has to be done, right? Because of course space is it's very far from Earth, and the conditions there are completely different from what it is on Earth.
Correct.
And one of the main aims of the Axiom 4 mission is to study how human life can get affected outside space.
Hasini, the audio wasn't very clear, but thank you for calling. I will let Dr. Guru Prasad take that briefly. If briefly you can tell us, sir, what her question was about. Apart from physical training, what would be the mental training? A question which I also asked because I think that requires a lot of resilience. If you can take that, please, sir.
Yeah, I can take it, and I would be brief, Arnab. An astronaut candidate, actually, in addition to being trained for any physical challenges, mentally also an astronaut has to be very robust, in the sense he should not panic, or he should respond very calmly to the kind of contingencies that that may develop during space flight. So, and in addition to that, when one is in space, actually one feels isolated. It is not like going and meeting the people, especially during the long duration space flight. Astronauts or cosmonauts, even they feel like that. So they have to be trained a priori, that is before they go to space. They have to be trained very well to respond to the unforeseen situations, as well as to the isolation and such things. They need to respond properly, especially. That is why they are trained in such a way in simulators, so that artificially certain crisis is put into the simulators, and as to how they respond, that will be observed by the trainers, and that is how they are trained very well to attend to any contingencies. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much, sir. Our next caller is a former, I think, an Air Force officer. Wing Commander Pramod is calling from Gurugram.
Hi, Arnab. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you? What's your question,
All good, sir. And my question is, rather than it's a huge moment for pilots, I've been one of them. And I tell you that these guys are very, very strong mentally, resilient, and they've been trained through all this, because during the combat, they've all gone through this, what they're going through. And personally, I know a few of them. They've been my juniors. So it's a huge moment. And kudos to all scientists who made it possible.
Okay, thank you, Wing Commander Pramod. You're lucky to know them personally. I'm sure you'll be watching. Thank you very much. Dr. Kamaljeet is calling from Allahabad. Dr. Kamaljeet. Dr. Kamaljeet, are you there? Or I'll go to my next caller. Our next caller is Nisha. Nisha is also calling from Gurugram. Nisha, hi, you there?
Hello, Arnab.
Hi, Nisha. Hi.
My question is a bit specific, and it's related to. Can I ask this question to Mr. Nambi Narayan?
Yes, Mr. Nambi Narayan, sir. This question is to you. Coming from Nisha from Gurugram. Go ahead, sir. Let's put Nambi Narayan, sir, in a big window. Yeah. Please go ahead, Nisha.
Sir, I have been studying about space settlement and human flight. I came across some of the mechanisms installed. So I wanted to ask that what sort of mechanisms are the ISRO scientists, working on that actually prevents the loss of bone density and muscle mass, which is caused due to zero gravity in space?
Sir, did you get the question, Dr. Nambi Narayan?
I understand that she wants to ask how they are going to get used to the zero gravity situation. Am I right?
Yeah, and she was talking about what are the mechanisms that can help, combat loss of muscle mass, etc. I think that was a reference to what she said. Yes.
Yeah. Actually, is it Nisha? I mean, I feel there is nothing for you to worry about. Number one is, I was just watching, we are keeping on giving them advices that I'm sorry that I'm not going to hurt somebody. We don't need to give them any advice because they are well trained. They know what is to be done and how to do it and what not to do it. Everything they know.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't be here in this mission. And it is not, as somebody was telling, Guru Prasad was telling, it is not redundant, but it is multiple redundance.
Multiple.
So that, yeah, number one. Number two is that systems which we are talking about are all not designed by us and in the space station. In the space station, this mission is mainly meant for those astronauts who are going to expose themselves to a space travel, who want to experience all those things they have already in the training center. They have gone through this mill, but now they are going to be in actual situation. Now, this is not only going to end with Shukla, but it will be going to Nair and all the other people who are in line. And not only 4, maybe much more than this. But this is a parallel working, exposing and getting acquainted with the various situations which are going to be in the space travel. So I feel we are not to worry about the muscle problems, etc., which are only for 14 days, which is a peanut compared to what we are talking about, Sunita Williams.
Sunita Williams, yeah. And yeah, absolutely. And he's very fit, he's younger, everything's going to be good. Sudhir from Pune, and we have lined up Sunny from Pune also, 2 callers from Pune. First, Sudhir. Yes, please. Hi, Sudhir.
Yeah, very good evening, Arnab.
Good evening,
and
sir.
very good evening to scientific community.
Yeah, thank you.
I would like to ask a question to all the scientists and to you. We will be taking up the new generations for space applications and space interests, because that is the only way we can progress very faster to our PM's vision of Atmanirbhar and developed nation by 2047. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Velanki, would you like to take that? That question was about how we inspire and get younger people involved, because that's the only way we can achieve all our targets in the coming years. Won't there be a need for a lot of people to enter space? Won't many affiliated areas also open up?
Yes, actually the Axiom space is one where if anybody wants to conduct any experiment, they don't require to fly. The moment an experiment is approved, they will get the experiment carried out through the astronauts who are flying. That is how the 60 experiments were lined up. If you look at the experiments, and the Axiom space themselves have got more than 15 experiments, varying from, let us say, the ham radio to suit ride, microgravity challenge, the others related to the cancer research, doctoral demand, the immune, the gut microbiota, the neurofeedback, the astro-mental health, many things are there. If you take Shubhanshu Shukla, he is going to carry out the crop seeds on ISS, and he is also trying out a wonderful experiment related to the tardigrades, a micro animal which is actually surviving so many thousands and millions of years exposed to the radiation as well as the heat and the other extremities. How that particular micro animal is able to survive. That micro animals are being carried there to conduct an experiment on ISS by Shubhanshu Shukla. In addition to that, he is going to do on cyanobacteria and the microalgae, many experiments. So that means for the users, there are a number of things that can be done.
Yeah. I have two callers lined up. I'm going to take two callers very quickly. Sunny, real quick, please. Real quick, because I'm running short of time. What's your question?
Yeah. So, hi, Arnab. This is Sunny from Pune, IT industry basically.
Yeah, go on,
Hello,
Sunny.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Arnab. Thanks for putting this Shubhanshu Shukla on the screen. This is a really proud moment, but I'll not take much of your time. My only question which I see these kind of things is that so we have been talking about NASA, ISRO.
Please. Don't disturb. Yeah, thank you. Please go on. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have been talking about NASA and ISRO for so many years. Now, since ISRO is coming up so fast and we are having so much in detail and all those things, are we thinking that we can actually retain the ISRO people who are good scientists moving to NASA as a, what I'm trying to say is basically now since ISRO is coming near to NASA and all the technologies and everything, do we really think that we can retain these talents here in ISRO?
Is your question about retaining talent?
Yes.
Okay. So I'll let Dr. Surendra Pal take that. Are we retaining the best talent since we are getting into such advanced areas? There will be some level of competition.
Yes. I think his apprehension is not well placed. We are retaining the persons. All of us have stayed there, and the younger generation is much smarter. They are much, informed about it. They are more interested in doing the things for the country. I have interacted with the younger generations also. So persons are staying it, and they are interested in the space technology. It's not our future for ISRO and future for space technology in India is very bright.
Okay.
Otherwise, we would have not been thinking about going for Gaganyaan and all those things. The retention is quite high.
Thank you, sir. I've run out of time for questions. There are many callers. I promise you I'll be back. We'll have more callers and more call-in opportunities in the next few days. Dr. Surendra Pal, Dr. Venkateshwar Sharma, Dr. Seshadri, Dr. Guru Prasad, and of course, Dr. Nambi Narayan, thank you very much. It's a pleasure and an honor to talk to you. Ladies and gentlemen, this run-up will continue over the next 24 hours. The name on everyone's lips tonight is, once again, Group Captain Shubhanshu Shukla. We wish him all the best. See you tomorrow. Good night and goodbye.
Time for a quick breather. Arnab will be right back with the debate.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।